Unyshek, one of the community managers at 343, recently posted a tweet on Twitter going over some of the planned changes and updates for Halo Infinite. And of course, that's what we'll be talking about today. So without wasting any more of your time, let's jump straight in. First things first is networking. He mentions how they'd recently gone over it in a Spartan chatter, but wanted to speak on it again since it's come up as quite a common topic since Season 5's launch. I'll be leaving each segment of the tweet up on screen so you can read through yourself, but in summary he mentions how their original plan was to work on the system bit by bit and to fix it bit by bit. However, as we all know, this wasn't really getting the results that 343 wanted, so they decided to pursue fundamental changes to the underlying network model. So their current plan is to essentially overlay the entire system, and although they've got nothing to share right now, they have said they'll speak about it more publicly once it's ready for a testing phase. The next thing that's spoken about is the customs game browser. Of course, with the release of Campaign AI in Forge, there's been a lot more custom game browser matches popping up and a lot of really cool experiences that players have been looking forward to trying out. However, there's been a lot of long loading times and a lot of crashes when trying to join matches on the customs game browser, and he mentions here that this is typically caused by multiple players trying to join at once. So when you initially look to lobby, it might seem like there's plenty of space available, however by the time you're in, you can't actually join the match because it is now filled up. And he says they're reviewing feedback and hoping to improve the custom game browser experience for the future. And this is definitely something I'm looking forward to. I think having the custom game browser there is really cool, but it hasn't really changed or been improved that much since it was released during the winter update, which was almost over a year ago now. So these are definitely some changes that I'm looking forward to. The next thing that's mentioned is in regards to customization. They speak briefly about how they've already added cross-core helmets and some cross-core coatings this season, and of course I myself and many other players are pretty damn happy about this. I mean, again, even if you're playing for free, by default you have 8 different helmets that you can use across any of those cores, which I think is absolutely amazing. He mentions the next area of cross-core that the team is going for is shoulders, which I think again is really damn cool. Now, I don't think you'll be able to use as many shoulders on each core as you can with helmets. I mean, with helmets, you can literally use any of them on any armor core. However, with some of the cores, especially fractures, having very different builds, I don't know if this is going to be the case with every set of shoulder pads. But even if it's just between like the cannon cores, that is going to open up customization so much more. I mean, there's a couple of cores that I really like, but I think these shoulders are pretty lackluster. Like, I really like how Hazmat looks visually, but I'm not a huge fan of the shoulder pads, so I tend to not use that core. So I'm definitely looking forward to cross-core shoulder pads becoming a thing. And again, this opens the borders for everyone, not just people that are spending money on the game, but those that are new or those that are playing for free. He says that they were aware that shoulder pads are a big part of everyone's Spartan and how they're very important to your overall appearance. And they also mentioned that they are working on making more coatings cross-core, and this will be something that is done in segments like we've already seen with Season 5. Personally, the next ones I'd like to see become cross-core more than anything is the campaign ones. Since the coatings are the only thing you really earn from the campaign, I do think they should be a priority as far as cross-core coatings go, and I'd absolutely love to be able to use something like Wild Coven on the Mark 5B. And one final thing that's mentioned about customization is that the Season 1 Halo Championship kits are still being worked on, as in soon enough you will be able to actually use that coating from that kit with your own Spartan. It's disappointing that this is taking as long as it is. I mean, I personally don't own any of those Season 1 kits, but I know a few people that do, and they're still a little annoyed that they can't use that coating with their own armor. But it is nice to have some sort of confirmation that this is still being looked into, and we should see this sooner rather than later. The next part is in regards to stability and enhanced crash reporting, and Uni basically goes on to mention that they've been steadily improving the stability, but expect to gain even more insight on crashes with these new reporting systems, and we should expect to see continued improvements to stability going forward, which again is pretty nice to hear. And finally, they talk about the mid-season update, which will be bringing Firefight King of the Hill, the repair field equipment, bug fixes, stability improvements, and more. And of course, we'll hear more about that as it's closer to release. I mean, I'm pretty excited for this update. I've enjoyed messing around with like some Firefight related stuff in custom games, but I can't wait for it to actually be a part of matchmaking. And hopefully you can gain career rank progression from that and not just battle pass XP. And it's also cool that we're going to be getting a new piece of equipment. The repair field looks pretty interesting and I'm excited to try that out in Big Team Battle especially. And who knows, maybe they've got some surprises in store for this update too. Anyway, that sums up everything that was spoken about in this post. Let me know what you all think down in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.